Yeah, I confess, Father, I confess, 'cause I've been living wrong. I know.
What's good, all the people of the world? This is your boy Fat Boy Fish, aka Jehoshaphat, and I had my topic today. I had wrote it down just so I don't get off topic, but I want to read what I wrote and then I want to talk about it with the little bit of time I do have. Crack cocaine was the biggest problem in all our communities. Back in the 60s, drugs was not a big problem in our communities because you had strong black men that stood together to keep drugs out of our communities and out of the hands of our kids. I look at crack cocaine as the first start of all the problems in our community. At this point, the distribution of crack cocaine was an all-out war on black families. So you might ask yourself, who is to blame? The Black Panthers told us in the movie The Panthers that it was the FBI. Who financed this? Who began this? And we all know that the FBI worked for the United States government. Before crack hit the streets, there was no gun shooting, no gun shootouts. Don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect, but these days was better because as black people we still practice self-love and love amongst our people. So you can say crack fueled black on black crime. People want a shot at the large fast money. To this day, we still got men and women fighting to get over their addiction. And they tell me that it's one of the hardest things that they have ever done is to try to shake their addiction to crack cocaine. Now, that's what I wrote. Now let me talk real quick. Now, before in the 80s, we got along with each other. There was no gang violence. There was no black on black crime. It was none of that. We practiced love amongst ourselves and we all got along. Don't get me wrong, our community's been suffering because of lack of resources and whatnot, but you didn't have what you have today. So as I look at my people now and the time that we in now, I look at we're still suffering from the effects of when they push crack cocaine in all of our neighborhoods. Now, let me talk about my city. Before crack cocaine became a big thing here in Fresno, black people owned 80% of everything on the west side. All the houses, all homes, everything. We owned everything. The west side was 90% black. Now, after the aftermath of crack cocaine, we only own probably 40% of it now. Maybe we edging on that. But look how great we were as a people in the 80s before they introduced drugs into our neighborhood. Now, I can't be mad at gangsters for wanting to try to make that fast money, but at the same time, you hurting your people by selling these drugs. Crack cocaine is the biggest problem that we face nowadays. Drugs, period. So when you see all these people out here that's selling drugs and doing drugs, the people that are selling drugs, they're making it better for the community because it's pushing it down. You know what I'm saying? It's not giving it life to grow. You know what I'm saying? But what would it take to get drugs out of our communities? This is one of the biggest things that we're facing. If we want to have a great community, we have to get drugs out of our communities. Now, from the people, all my older brothers and sisters out there, they talk to me like I wrote down. They say beating crack cocaine is one of the hardest things that they face. They working, they got jobs, but many times it was harder for them in their life. They was giving into their addiction. So if you want to help your people, stop giving them drugs. If you want to clean up your neighborhood and make it safe for little kids to come out and play, and we ain't got to worry about the innocent blood being spilled in the streets, you know what I'm saying, over gang violence. Because remember how we was before. I remember the 80s, y'all, and we got along. You know what I'm saying? We all got along with each other. It wasn't till like, I would say, what, like 87. That's when all the murders, because of that money, you know what I'm saying? So it's money involved, and that money fueled the war and made a whole lot of people not like each other, and a whole lot of bloodshed over money. You know what I'm saying? So if we can start anywhere, we need to start in getting these drugs out of our community. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's, as I look at the problem, look at how many families was broken up. Look at how many businesses that we had that we lost because of it. Now, as I see where I come from, before crack cocaine really hit the streets, don't get me wrong, it was black people living in other parts of the city, but for the majority of the people, we all lived on the west side. But when that crack cocaine hit the streets, it destroyed everything. You know what I'm saying? It destroyed everything, and everybody's lives was affected by crack cocaine. Now, the biggest thing that I can say to you brothers out there that is singing, if you love your people, find another way to make money. You know what I'm saying? Who would be more wronger in this question I ask you? The person that told the lie, or the person that keeps the lie going? Because that's what you in right now. You have a choice to help your people and to do something else. Now, I know it's quite appealing, that fast money. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to make $10 an hour when they can sit up and make 1,000 in one day? I understand completely, but at this point in our development of us getting back to where we was, you know what I'm saying? Because in the 60s we were great, in the 80s we were great until, and I read an article on the HuffPost that links up the CIA to cocaine scandal and how they took a part of it. And when you have people like Ronald Reagan coming out talking about it's a war on drugs, what he really was saying, it's a war on the black family, because didn't nobody else get crack cocaine pushed in their hood? You know what I'm saying? Poor white people, they didn't get crack cocaine pushed on them. Hispanic people, they didn't get crack cocaine pushed on them. It was used as a suppression for our community. Now, that happened to us in the 80s, and look what we're doing to ourselves now. We still suffering the aftermath of crack cocaine. That's what I'm saying to you. So as people, we don't have to get these drugs out of our neighborhoods, away from our children, and help our brothers and sisters out there that's strung out on it. If they can't get it, then they're going to be forced to kick that habit. But as long as you keep on feeding to them, man, you should be ashamed of yourself. You really should, because these are your aunties, these are your uncles, these are your mama, these your daddy, these your little cousins that you selling this shit to. So you hurting your own people at the expense of getting rich. What kind of person are you? I would never want to get rich off the backs of my people pain and suffering. I tell you that right now. So I ask you, brothers and sisters that's out there in that lifestyle, do you want to continue to hurt us as people? This is your boy Fat Boy Fish with my topic for today. And if you listen to this message, I ask that you just listen to it and come to some type of understanding. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Black power.
Yeah, I confess, Father, I confess, 'cause I've been living wrong.